channel, guys. I want to thank you for stopping in and tuning into this build. Now, where we left off last time, we had ordered, I went back and I looked in my order, and we had actually ordered the wrong bolts because I thought I had the long ones in stock, so I ordered the short ones through Main Street Cycle, and it ended up being I had the short ones in stock and I ordered the short ones. So anyway, it was a big mess. It was my fault completely. I went back and I looked because I kept track of my order list because I had to order so much stuff, and I was mistaken. I ordered the wrong one. So my wife was very generous to go over to Ziegler Nut and Bolt, only for the reason I'm trying to get this done, and I don't have a couple of days to wait for parts. So they had them. They charged me $20 for 4. We only needed 2. They charged me $20. That was after taxes, and I got the washers, the bolts, the nuts. Now, one thing I did have to get, because these are actually 1 inch longer than what I needed. This was all they had that they could give me. So I have to put in 2 spacers. Not a big deal. And I will get the right bolts for CFMOTO coming. So I can, these are the bottom bolts, so they'll be easy to pull in and out. But just for the sake of getting this build done, we got longer bolts and we got some spacers that we're gonna put over the bolts, and we're gonna crank them down nice and tight. So it is what it is. That's just what we got to do for right now, but at least it'll allow us to get the machine back together. And then putting the real bolts in are only going to be like a 2-minute job, literally a jack and some tools, and it'll be fine. So I don't mind it. 20 bucks. They hooked us up really good. It's like $40 worth of stuff. It's actually cheaper than the CFMOTO stuff, and it's better quality too. I mean, this is a hardened steel bolt. This bolt is coated. It won't rust as easy. These are stainless, but we all know how that goes in the side-by-side realm. That's every side-by-side. They rust. But we got to thank Main Street Cycle for sending us over everything that we needed, and they would have sent us over the bolts have I asked, but I did not ask. They've already done enough for me. They're taking super good care of me over here, and I believe they're taking super good care of you over there. So without further ado, enough chit-chatting. Let's get into the build. Make sure you get over and check out Main Street Cycle, because we got something else coming from them. We do got something else coming from them, and I cannot wait to do a video on it. For show. Let's get it done. Alright guys, we're going to start by putting our lower control arm in. Going to get her set in there, just like so. So now that we got it sitting in there like that, this is the one where we're going to take this bolt that we bought. We're actually going to slather it with some Permatex anti-seize. We're going to put it all up and down this bolt. Don't need to get it on the threads. And you only really need to do what part you're not handling, because once you get it slid in there, it'll spread real nice. So let's get that in there just like so. Just like that. What I like to do is pull it in and out a couple of times. Like I said, we'll have to tap that in. All we got to do is tap her in. And then, so we don't get this anti-seize on everything, let's wipe it off, because this stuff sucks. Now we're going to slide our washer on there, just like so. Next, we're going to put our collar on there, just like so. Then we have our nut that we're going to put on there. just like so. It is a locking nut. I am using locking nuts. Keep that in mind, guys. You want to use locking nuts. Now you want to get that as tight as possible. Remember, this is only a temporary solution, although it would work very fine. Permanently, it would do. So I guess now what we got to do, get this top one put on. And it's going to go just like so. And we're going to do the same thing for this. This bolt here. Same identical thing. So we got that in. Now we got to get our nut on. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of the lift kit. This is actually the trail shock. We're waiting on the EX shocks to come in. Once they come in, we'll be swapping out the shocks. But for now, we're just going to get rid of the lift kit and bolt the shock up because we're going to get rid of the lift kit anyway. So there we go. We went ahead and got rid of the lift kit. We bolted the trail shock up just so as we can have a roller. We're still waiting on the trail shock, so that'll be in a future video. And we're waiting on the rear CV axles, but we still got to do this front end and everything. So let me prepare the knuckle and the axle, and we'll show you how to install the axle. So to remove this axle, we're just going to pull on it. That's it. We're going to get the new one. I'm actually surprised no fluid came out. Plug it in, plug it in. And we're just going to plug it in, just like so. Can't beat that. Now, well, I got you here. There is a left and a right axle. This axle here would be your front driver's side axle. This would go into the diff. They are different. This is for all the Z-Force machines. This right here would be your front passenger side axle. So they are different, guys. Keep that in mind. They're not the same on the front. They are the same in the rear. We went ahead and greased the wheel bearing. Now, if you're curious how to do this, I actually have a video dedicated to this. You can find it on my channel, how to grease wheel bearings. So now we're going to want to just install the axle, just like so. We're going to put that in there, just like that. We're going to go ahead and put this on there, just like that. And we're going to get our axle nut, and we're going to put it on there, just like that. We're going to send it. So after we do that, we're going to get our nut that goes on our ball joint. We're going to put our ball joint on there. Put the lower one on first. It doesn't hurt. So we'll snug that up, but then once we get it all together, we'll go around them and we'll tighten them. So let's get the top one put on here, like so. Remember, we just want to snug them up. Because now we got to change our inner tie rod end. It's time to do that. Alright guys. We was actually able to get that side done in the same video because it all come apart. So we only had to hack out the bolts on this side. The bolts on this side were good. I was able to reuse them. So I only need one bolt down there, factory wise. And we'll be tip-top shape. But she's fine at the moment. We can ride it if we wanted to with that bolt after it was all put together, of course. But the next video is actually, I think, going to be that wheel bearing there. After the wheel bearing video, we're going to move along to the tie rod ends, the inners, and then after that, we're going to move along to the front brake lines. And then after that, we can put the front on her and see where she sits. Now, she's going to sit way low because she's got that factory trail suspension. Who knows, it might be a cool look. So for those of you who wanted to know how low it would sit with an EX would sit with trail shocks, we're going to find out for sure until we get those shocks in. Well, guys, I want to thank you for watching this step in the video. Now, the next step is to replace the inner tie rod ends. That's going to be a video all by itself. And we'll get to doing that after I get done with the passenger side. I'm going to do that off camera. So I'm going to work on that and get that taken care of off camera. Hopefully you can share the content. Make sure you're a subscriber. It really helps the channel. And consider becoming a channel member. That would be freaking awesome, guys. Make sure to check out Main Street Cycle. We want to thank them guys for sponsoring this here build. And I really want to thank them for doing everything that they've been doing for all of my viewers. I have been getting all kinds of awesome messages. Nothing but happiness from that place. You guys are awesome. Main Street Cycle, you're awesome. Thank you guys for taking care of everyone. I really, truly appreciate it, and I hope you guys all know that. Thank you very much. Peace out. God bless.